Hello, my fellow members of Boston Sports Nation. Welcome to another edition of the Roy Readers Podcast. This is episode 41, the February the 19th of 2026 episode. I'm your host, Tom O'Shea. So, let's get into it. So, Celtics reopened action against the Golden State Warriors, so they started out the second half. And guess who's back? Well, technically for the Warriors, not only will we face former teammate Al Horford, we're also facing Kristaps Porzingis because he got traded over to the Warriors back a few weeks ago. So he made his debut. It looks like he made his. I think this is his debut, but because he was on injury reserve, I think they traded him and stuff like that. So he came back. So he played for the Warriors, and I gotta say, it was, for the most part, pretty blowout game up until like the fourth quarter. Then the Warriors kind of made it a little bit interesting, but in the end, Peyton Pritchard and company, Jaylen Brown and all of them basically did the job. They held them off, and they start the road trip with a 121-110 victory in Golden State or San Francisco, or basically, yeah, San Francisco, if you want to talk about it, the Bay Area. All right. So, yeah, as I said, it was kind of a somewhat back and forth kind of affair in the first quarter, and then literally the second quarter, like just shooting frees all night. Peyton Pritchard and all of them basically kind of led the way, kind of eat that, or basically closed out the lead for a quarter. Same thing. Then the fourth quarter, then they started making some bad turnovers, sloppy plays. Warriors kind of rallying back. You thought, oh no, are they just going to blow like a 30-something lead? But thankfully they didn't, and good thing for that too, because that would have been bad. I think Peyton Pritchard, he got collected his 800 career free pointer made. I could be wrong on that. Okay, hold on. That. Okay, I want totals, not legit percentages. Oh, this is per game. Okay, totals here. 3-pointers, 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 3-pointers. Career. Yeah, not showing us. I would think this is like his. That means we gotta do math. Yeah, all right. So that means we gotta do math. Oh my legit lord! All right, hold on. Get out of here. All right. 101. 36. 47. 255. 100. Yeah, he passed it. All right, so yeah, it is 100. Well, now 103 now, but yeah. Yeah, so he did, like, in that second quarter, he passed 100 or 800 free pointers made, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, all right. All right, so my top five goal scorers, it was Peyton Pritchard with 26, Jaylen Brown 23, Sam Hauser with 16, Derek White with 10, and I think it is a two-way, or basically a two-way tie for fifth between Kada and Vucevic with 9. It could be the tiebreaker in this one. Who had more rebounds? Well, it was Kata's. All right, so Kada will get it. All right. So yeah, and then rebounds leading that was Jaylen Brown with 15. Peyton Pritchard and Anita Kada with 6. And then, geez, it's like basically kind of a freeway tie for fourth or so, or fifth, if you think about it. All right. Baylor Shireman with 5, Derek White with 5, then Vucevic with 5. All right. Assists, it is Jaylen Brown with 13, Derek White with 8, Peyton Pritchard with 7, Sam Hauser with 5, and then it is a freeway tie for fifth place between Nitish Keita, Baylor Shireman, and Ron Harper Jr. He got some minutes tonight, huh? All right. Steals, it is Anita Keita with 2. Check something real quick. All right. Sorry. Anita Keita with 2. Baylor Shireman with 1. Derek White with 1. Peyton Pritchard with 1. Vucevic with 1. And then Hugo Gonzalez with 1. All right. Block. Hold on. Let's see. Poor connection. Here we go. All right. We're back again. All right. With that poor connection, I really feel like I'm still going. Like, I'm still talking when that happens. So, I don't know. Just to be safe, I'll just maybe stop when that ever happens again. But anyway, so blocks. Derek White had 4, so he led. And then it's only 6. So, like, after that, it's Ron Harper Jr. with 1, and then Vucevic with 1. All right. Field goals, it was 49 out of 95, so 51.6%. 17 out of 40 from 3-point land, so 42.5. And literally the third quarter or second quarter was basically where we kind of like just went to from downtown for the most part. My mother had to ask me what downtown meant. I thought in basketball, I like literally had to tell her. Yeah. Well, she is a 60-something-year-old lady, so yeah. 66 in May, but yeah. Anywho, all right. And 6 out of 7 from free throw land, 85.7. We had 13 offensive rebounds, 41 defensive rebounds, had 13 turnovers and 6 personal fouls. All right. I did see it looked like Jaylen Brown had a triple-double tonight. So, yeah, as I said, 23 points, 15 rebounds, and 13 assists. That is a triple-double. All right, nice. Very nice for him. And as I said, yeah, P. Rabbit, like, he was basically drilling threes during the second quarter. A lot of them were, I think there was, like, a time in the second quarter where, like, we were, like, draining them, like, 5 or so in a row or something like that. But, yeah. Yeah, some of our ex-Celtics had who were playing for the Warriors, like Al Horford and Kristaps Porzingis, were basically playing tonight. Yeah. Al Horford, like apparently, so he fouled, and it looked like they got the foul. Then they went to check it first time around for see if it was flagrant or not. It wasn't classified as one, and then Joe Mazzulla wanted to check on it, and then and then he won the review, and then it became an offensive foul. But yeah, it was like one of those, yeah. Yeah. Al Horford almost beat up our young superstar from Spain. Just said, oh. Another funny part, I think it was close to the end of the third quarter. I think Peyton Pritchard and Kristaps Porzingis were trying to fight over the ball for like a good chunk of time. I thought it was somewhat kind of funny. Wow, it's my ball. It's my ball. It's my ball. My ball. Yeah. It was good to see those guys. And they all acted like they were shaking it or kind of yucking it up after the game and stuff like that. Basically, like just hugging each other and saying, yeah, like good times and stuff like that. That was kind of neat. So, yeah. That fourth quarter, as I said, that almost gave me the creeps. I literally had to muted the broadcast because they were being so obnoxious about the whole oh, here we go, the Warriors here, they're coming back. No, they're not. Like, and well, I mean, it almost looked like they were because yeah, we were committing dumb turnovers towards the end. like literally making fast break turnover baskets and stuff like that. I thought, oh wow, well, that would have looked bad. Yeah, just one of those things where like, yeah, close call there, but yeah, I guess they do. Yeah, we got to control the ends of games like that, especially when we're up that big. That can't happen. All right. So our record after tonight is 36-19. So very good. All right. So where does that put us? Still second in the Eastern Conference right now, right in front of the New York Knicks, but right behind the Detroit Pistons, who have won 4 straight so far. Yeah. Cavaliers are starting to figure it out, 6 straight. And they are fourth in the Eastern Conference right now. So, and they're kind of like them and the Knicks are kind of tied for third place right now. So, yeah, we have a little bit of a competition between them. Then, as I said, Thunder are still leading the West. And then, man, Spurs have won 7 straight. They're really starting to figure it out. Yeah, they just got rid of Şengün. Yeah, and the Sacramento Kings have become the worst team in the NBA right now. 15 straight. Wow. They suck. Well, they won't be doing the whole taking thing next year because I think Adam Silver did announce they're going to start implementing anti-tanking rules starting next year. What I've been hearing, what I heard from all Shamana this afternoon. So yeah, so you won't be tanking anytime soon, and I really feel like that's a good rule. I really feel like there should be somewhere where like yeah, you can't really go overboard with this stuff. Yeah, you gotta actually try to win when you get like these number one picks. You really gotta try to win at this point. Uh, and as I said, it looks like the Celtics do not play again until Sunday against the Lakers in LA. So we get to go there for that rivalry. Yeah, yeah. Celtics and Lakers, just like Red Sox and Yankees. Um, Patriots and I would say the Colts maybe because I really feel like we have a little bit more beef with them in a way. Bruins versus Canadians, and then Celtic versus Rangers. Yeah, I want to add a little soccer, my favorite soccer club, to that little ref. Yeah, man, yeah, I watched their Europa League match against um, Stuttgart. Ugh, that was painful to watch. That was. Uh, And there were some of our fans who were acting not too great, booing and stuff like that. That I had no desire booing our own players. I did not have desire for that. Even though Casper Schmeichel was not great today on goalie. On goals, yeah, or like being a great goalkeeper. He really can't start on Sunday if we play against Hibs. He can't, no. But anyway, yeah, back to the actual Boston sport. I just kind of wanted, yeah. But yeah. The Celtics, that's when they do play again. The Boston Celtics, they play again on Sunday against the Lakers. Yeah. All right. And then news before we start wrapping up the evening. Looks like a former old face will be sort of in a way will be coming back on a 2-way deal. Looks like Danilio Banton will be D'Angelo Banton. He or the man, I can't pronounce that name. Well, it looks like Banton he'll be coming back to the Celtics on a 2-way deal. Man, bad on me. I should know this, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, good to see him back though. Might be useful for us when on the bench stuff like that. It's only a 2-way deal, but yeah, good to kind of see an old friend back or old face back in a way. Was he part of 2024? So he would technically have gotten a ring in a way. Maybe I don't know, but yeah, that's the only real news. Celtics related stuff. Red Sox do start up action tomorrow in sort of spring training play. They have that game against Northeastern. Yes, college players. Yep. That'll be a 12 o'clock start. 12:05 start, 1:05 Eastern time, whatever time zone you live in. You know what to do. Check what time it is and tune in. Yeah, anyway, it's spring training. I'm really not gonna go too much to the depth on this one. They do start grapefruit league action or kind of actual spring training action on Saturday against the Minnesota Twins, but we won't break that down just yet. But yeah, they already have like the starting rotation already ready to go for those games, which kind of makes me feel all right. Nice, we're getting close. We're getting close. All right. All right, we're gonna call it a night. All right, thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night. Oh yeah, because we're gonna recap the Winter Olympic semifinal games. Which, by the way, Team USA's women's hockey team won in OT against Canada. So nice, very nice. Congrats, ladies. Nice, nice. Yep. Hopefully, the men's team can also win gold, but they got to win their game against Finland tomorrow. And I think also, Finland. I think Slovakia and Canada, or is it Finland? Hold on. I think they're playing Slovakia. I could be wrong on that. Hold on. Here. All right. No, actually, it's Canada versus Finland, and then Slovakia versus USA. Okay, so Team USA has to be Slovakia tomorrow, and yeah, Finland has to be Canada. I don't know. I kind of like a Canada versus a USA gold medal game. That would actually add more to the flavor and stuff like that. Yeah, but yeah. All right. Until then, we'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Banyana.